Hey, what's up everyone, Bestinwest here, and in today's video we're going to take a look at Toxic Cup battles. So Zay and I got together once the Toxic Cup got announced by Silpharina, and we just wanted to test out some Pokemon that we had. We built some Pokemon and we just did open Toxic Cup battles, right? So this is by no means a good measure of how we play or what Pokemon are going to be good. It's just we're trying to get an idea of how it feels, right? So these are pretty much just the first battles that we're having, and yeah, let's just get to it. There's a picture of Zay down here. If you don't know who he is, he's a local trainer and he's one of my good friends, and you'll see him in a lot of my videos because we end up going to a lot of tournaments together. But Zay's a great trainer and he did really well in Portland. Alright, so getting straight into the battle, I lead off with Chansey. Chansey, like the Rose Cup, is eligible in this cup as well, but I feel like Chansey's even more viable in this cup than the Rose Cup. Anyway, Zay leads off with Skunk Tank and he goes for the Sludge Bomb, and as you can see, Chansey can easily tank that. A lot of people don't know how much damage Chansey actually does, so in this case Chansey's going to be dealing neutral damage with Hyper Beam and not very effective damage with Psychic, I believe. Or maybe it's neutral as well. But anyways, I get that Hyper Beam off and Zay lets it go and nearly knocks out Skunk Tank. Skunk Tank's going to get another charge move off right here, another Sludge Bomb, but like I said, Chansey can tank it. Chansey's going to go ahead and pound down the Skunk Tank, and now I have switch advantage and I have a slight energy advantage, but I'm going to be able to see what Zay's next Pokemon is going to be. It's a Swellow. So a normal type Swellow, I am going to be able to get the Psychic off, so this is just extra chip damage, and it still does a decent amount of damage. He is able to take out my Chansey, and I'm going to go ahead and bring in Steelix right here. So Steelix, pretty much anywhere Steelix is going to be pretty good. Going to go ahead and get this Crunch off. It's going to deal nice neutral damage to this Swellow if it goes, this Gliscor, if it goes unblocked. It does go unblocked, and I get another Crunch off. Now I believe Zay should block this, yes, and he's going to get a charge move off right here. I'm going to go ahead and block it. I have two shields. It is an Earthquake, so I correctly guessed that. I'm going to go ahead and switch into Hippowdon. Right now I don't have a second move because, well, I'm kind of low on dust, so I'm waiting for the double Stardust event tomorrow and the triple Stardust event this weekend. Anyways, I'm able to knock out that Gliscor even though I took that Earthquake, and in comes Swellow and it's a double KO, but I had a Steelix in the back. Alright, jumping straight into this next battle, I lead off with Golbat and he leads off with Heracross. This is a terrible matchup for Zay. These wing attacks are going to deal double super effective damage. He brings in Haunter and he gets a charge move off right here. I let it go, expecting a Shadow Punch because it was really too fast. I'm going to go ahead and let the Shadow Ball go. He ends up blocking it. I should have just baited him because, well, Haunter blocks everything. I go ahead and bring in Quillfish and deal neutral damage to Haunter with my fast attack, my water guns, and I'm just going to water gun down that Haunter. Haunter is super squishy, so hard hitting fast attacks is what you want to use against a Haunter, right? Anyways, he brings in Sceptile. I'm going to go ahead and get this Ice Beam off. I'm not sure if people are expecting Ice Beam because that one-shot Sceptile. Brings Heracross back in. These counters are dealing not very effective damage, but it's still chunking away because Heracross's attack stat's pretty high. Get this Ice Beam off and he ends up blocking that one and knocks out my Quillfish. Now I do have two Pokemon left. Both of them are going to deal super effective damage to Heracross, so I'll go ahead and bring Hippowdon back in. It's an easy block for me, so I go ahead and do that. Use the Mega Horn and one more Fire Fang. Heracross is done. Okay, so we're about to get into this third battle against ZayZilla. Right now we're just testing out Pokemon for the Toxic Cup. We haven't decided on teams or lines or anything yet, but I go ahead and lead off with Bibarel, and it's against Flygon. So my Bibarel is going to deal neutral damage to Flygon because of Flygon's ground typing. It's weak to water, but because of its dragon typing, it's resistant to water. So those cancel out, and so it's going to be dealing neutral damage. Bibarel is going to get off this Surf, and Zay's going to go ahead and shield it because I shielded the Dragon Claw earlier. Now I go ahead and shield out this second charge move, and it's an Earthquake. And get these water guns off, get this Surf off. Now I do expect Zay to go ahead and shield this, and I thought about switching, and I do switch into Chansey. So I am able to absorb this Earthquake with my Chansey, which is exactly what I wanted to do. At this point, I believe I'm just going to farm down this this Flygon with my Chansey, but he does make a switch into his own Bibarel. Go ahead and get this Psychic off, hoping that he blocks it, but he doesn't. So I probably should have, well, actually he has no shields left, so I probably should have gone Hyper Beam right there, because Hyper Beam gets stabbed and it's a more efficient move against in terms of neutral damage. But Bibarel does knock out my Chansey. Now it's my Bibarel and Quillfish against his Bibarel and 2 other Pokemon. His Bibarel does get a charge move, and I'm out of shields, so this Hyper Fang just knocks out my Bibarel, and all I have left is my own Quillfish. Quillfish pretty much has no chance right here because this Hyper Fang is going to deal tons of damage. You saw that, it's like 70% of my health. He sends out Flygon, doesn't matter, it knocks it out in 1 hit. Back to Bibarel, and Bibarel just water guns down my my Quillfish. So yeah, not the best of situations there, but it's okay. We're just testing Pokemon out, trying to figure out what Pokemon are viable, right? Alright, getting into this next battle, I'm going to lead off with Toxicroak. He leads off with Haunter. I don't think this is a great matchup for me because Haunter is double resisting these counters, but I am trying to get to this Mud Bomb because that would knock out Haunter. Haunter is going to get a charge move off Shadow Punch, charge up a little bit extra energy, get this Mud Bomb off. Like I mentioned, Mud Bomb would knock out Haunter, but he ends up shielding it. I bring out Chansey, and he brings out Victory Bell. So Victory Bell is actually pretty good against Chansey, but this Psychic is going to deal tons of damage because of Victory Bell's grass typing, but he does end up blocking it. Now he is out of shields though. He's going to get a charge move off Chansey, no need to block it. Sludge Bomb doesn't deal that much damage, but these Razor Leafs are hitting pretty hard. I am going to get to this Psychic, but yeah, no, I'm going to go ahead and shield that. It's Leaf Tornado, but I am able to get the Psychic off. The Psychic is going to knock out this Victory Bell, I believe. Oh, almost. 1 more pound and it does knock out that Victory Bell. I have a little bit of health left, and he sends out Quillfish. Quillfish is going to farm down the rest of my Chansey, and now I have a Toxicroak and a Quillfish. Quillfish is going to be able to get to a charge move, and man, that's so close. I had a Mud Bomb ready. Able to knock out my Toxicroak. Now it's Quillfish versus Quillfish, and I believe his Quillfish is going to win out right here. It's going to get a charge move, and it's going to deal a decent chunk of damage. Sludge Wave, look at that. Even not very effective damage, you saw how much damage that did. About 60%. So Quillfish is pretty squishy, and you have to remember that in this cup, I guess, because even against not very effective damage, still is able to knock it out. Brings in Haunter and takes out the rest of my Quillfish. GG. Alright, getting into this next battle, I lead off with Chansey against his Alolan Raticate, and this Alolan Raticate is just not going to do very much damage to my Chansey, right? Crunch is not going to deal that much damage. Hyper Fang, even though it's a great move, is not going to deal that much damage. I go ahead and make the aggressive swap into Toxicroak, and yeah, I got a few counters off on that Alolan Raticate and did a decent chunk of damage. Go ahead and get this Sludge Bomb off right here, even though Gliscor is going to resist all of Toxic Folk's moves, but as you just saw, did a decent amount of damage. Now my thought is I bring Chansey back in, absorb all these charge moves, just absorb them, just use it as a shield, right? He went ahead and used Sand Tomb, lower my defense. This is actually a pretty good idea to lower the defense and make it so that all these fast moves and charge moves deal more damage. But I am able to knock out his Gliscor with my Chansey. He brings in a Alolan Raticate again, and so Hyper Beam will knock out at this range, but he goes ahead and uses Crunch. I go ahead and use my Hyper Beam. It's either going to take a shield or it's going to knock it out. So it is able to knock it out, and he has 2 shields against, and I have, yeah, Hippowdon. So in the 2 shield scenario, right, in shielded scenarios, Hippowdon will knock out Venusaur even though Hippowdon is weak to grass. And that's because like those shield, like most of Venusaur's damage is going to come from Frenzy Plant. If Frenzy Plant doesn't hit, then Hippowdon is able to knock it out. Similar to Ice against Venusaur, like for Alligator or Lapras. If Frenzy Plant doesn't hit, then your Ice type or Fire type in this case will win out. Or Ground type in this case will win out with the Fire move. Anyways, getting into this next battle, I'm leading off with Steelix. The more I use it, the less I feel like Steelix is necessary. But Steelix versus Hippowdon, this is a bad matchup. Fire Fang is going to deal super effective damage to Steelix, and Steelix is dealing neutral damage back to Hippowdon. Yeah, not the best of matchups. I'm going to go ahead and get this Crunch off. He does block it. I'm going to go ahead and switch into my Quillfish. He's going to get a charge move off. Now Hippowdon does get access to Earth Power or ground moves, but he baits me with the Body Slam, and he's probably going to get to another Body Slam or maybe even another Earth Power. But I shield it anyways. It's an Earthquake. Man, so he charged up a ton of energy. Earthquake would one-shotted my Quillfish. I think Earth Power would one-shotted my Quillfish. I am going to get this Ice Beam off. If he doesn't block it, it's going to deal a ton of damage, but he does block it, so that was the right move. He's going to get this Frenzy Plant off, and it's going to knock out my Quillfish. I go ahead and bring in my Golbat, dealing super effective damage with that wing attack. He does make the switch into Gliscor. I go ahead and use my Shadow Ball. It's going to deal a decent chunk of damage, but definitely not knock out Gliscor. It's going to get a charge move off right here. I believe it's going to be Sand Tomb. Sand Tomb's not very effective damage, but does lower my defense, so these wing attacks are dealing more damage to me now. I'm going to get another charge move off. I think it's going to be another Sand Tomb. Lower my defense even more, but I go ahead and make the switch, knock out his Gliscor with my Steelix. Man, his Venusaur is able to get a charge move off, knock out my Steelix before I'm able to get that Earthquake, but my Golbat does have a Shadow Ball ready. This is going to deal tons of damage to Venusaur and knock him out. So GG. It's still super early, so still no clue how the meta is going to shape out, but it's pretty fun so far. I do get a lot of Rose Cup vibes, so keep that in mind. It's very fast move dependent, so Water Gun, Counter, Fire Fang. These type of fast moves are going to be very devastating against Pokemon that are going to be weak against it. So, but that'll about do it for this video. If you guys enjoyed it, please make sure you hit that thumbs up to like it, and if you haven't already, please make sure you hit that subscribe button to keep up to date with any new content that I may come out with. But yeah, that's it guys. Till next time, this is Bestinwest. I'll catch you guys later.